Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the 8th video on Introduction to Oil and Gas. In this video, we are going to solve numericals on acquisition of minerals interest in property. In this video, we are going to solve exercises on delay rental, revenue receivable to lessor and lessee on lease, cost payable by lessor and lessee on lease, determining the kind of interest, termination of lease, bonus, and royalties. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel to search for accounting lessons and hit the notification bell button to alert you for the latest video. For all of your questions, comments, and suggestions, please put them in the comment section below. And for webinar and guest speaker invites, please send me a message at accountingamir@gmail.com. Accounting is AK. We hope that this video helps students in their academic development and teachers in enhancing their lesson plans and teaching methodologies. We also hope that this video helps fresh graduates who have joined the oil and gas companies and want to refresh their learning on oil and gas accounting. We will start with solving an exercise on delay rentals. On January 1, 2018, Arc Oil Company signed a lease contract for a lease in Texas. A 4-year primary term was specified in the lease contract. On what date is the first delay rental payment due? So the lease was signed on January 1, 2018, and the delay rental will be due after 1 year. So the first delay rental payment is due on January 1, 2019. Then what is the maximum number of delay rental payments that may be made? Now, since the delay rental payment will be due at the end of each year, so the maximum number of delay rentals for a 4-year primary lease will be 3 payments. Okay, number C. By what date must drilling commence in order to keep the lease from terminating? So the drilling must begin by December 31, 2021. Okay. Then assume Arc Oil begins drilling a well on January 2, 2020. Would the first delay rental be necessary to keep the lease from terminating? And the answer is yes, because 1 year expires on 1st of January 2019, and they are going to start the drilling on January 2, 2020. Okay. Number 2, if the well were still in process 14 months later, would the second delay rental be necessary? And the answer is no, because the drilling has started on 14 months later. Okay. If instead the well was completed and production began on October 3, 2020, would the second delay rental be necessary? And the answer is yes, as the second delay rental payment would be due by January 1, 2020. Okay. If production ceased by December 25, 2020, would the third delay rental payment be necessary? And the answer is yes. If additional drilling was not commenced and assuming that the lessee wants to retain the lease. Okay. Let us solve another exercise. And Miss Hawkins owns the mineral rights only in a property in Grayson County, Texas. She leases the property to Garth Petroleum, reserving a one-fifth royalty. Petroleum drills a successful well and begins producing oil. Revenue from the first year of operations totaled 30,000 and cost of development and operation totaled 175. So how much revenue will each party receive? Now there are two parties, Ms. Hawkins, the property owner, and the oil company, the lessee. So the royalty in Ms. Hawkins is going to receive the royalty interest, and the royalty interest will be for Ms. Hawkins, and her royalty is one-fifth, so 1 upon 5 of the revenue for the first year, that is 30,000, so that is equal to 6,000. And the working interest is for the Garth Petroleum, and it will be the remaining amount, that means 4/5 of the total revenue, 30,000, so that gives us 24,000. And the cost of development and operation, so they are asking about how much of the cost will each party pay. Now the Miss Hawkins, the property owner, she is not going to pay any cost. So for the royal, for the property owner, it is going to be 0% of cost, and for the cost to be paid by the working interest owner, that is Garth Petroleum, that is going to be 100% of the cost is going to be borne by them, and that is equal to 175,000. Okay. Let us solve another exercise. And Ethane Oil Corporation owns 100% of the working interest in an oil and gas lease located in a remote area of Wyoming. The royalty on the lease is 1 upon 8. Ethane Oil does not have the funds to develop the lease and decide to assign the working interest to Tritium Oil Company, reserving an interest that will pay 1/5 of 7 upon 8 of the gross revenue, because 1/8 is the royalty for the property owner as of gross revenue, but where the ethane oil will pay none of the operating cost. So what kind of interest has Tritium acquired, and what kind of interest has ethane oil company retained? Okay, so Tritium has acquired 100%. They have acquired 100% of the working interest, but 1/5 of 7 upon 8 of the gross revenue will be paid to ethane oil company. So ethane oil has retained the overriding interest of 1/5 of 7 upon 8. Okay, so Tritium has acquired 100% of the working interest, and ethane oil company has retained the overriding royalty interest. Let us solve another exercise. Tyler Energy owns a 100% working interest in a tract of land in Texas. Lacking the funds to develop the property, Tyler Energy assigns Gravity Oil 30,000 barrels of oil to be paid out of 1/7 of its share of production in exchange for 600,000 in cash. Okay. So what type of interest has Gravity Oil acquired? So obviously Gravity Oil has acquired the production payment interest, and the real I have already explained production payment interest in the previous videos, and please refer to my previous video on acquisition of mineral interest in property, where you can see that production payment royalty interest is created from the working interest. However, it does not bear the cost of production. And here Tyler is paying 1/7 of its share of production. So they are not bearing the cost of production. Uh, and you can also recall that the production payment interest terminates upon the payment of the specific sum of money, and here Tyler Energy is paying 600,000 in cash, after which it is going to terminate and will not go through the entire this payment will not go through the entire lease payment period as such, but have a finite time associated with this. Okay, let us solve another exercise. And here Aggie Company obtained a lease on August 1. The lease contract specifies a 3-year primary term. Drilling operations began on June 1, so it was on August 1, 2018. Drilling starts on June 1, 2019, and continued until October 15, 2019, when the well was determined to be dry. So would the first delay rental payment be acquired? Now, the primary term is the maximum time that the lessee has to begin drilling or commence production from the property. Technically, during this term, the lessee must begin drilling, and they have done within 1 year. August 1, and they have started in the year 2019, June 1, 2019, from the signing of the lease. And you can see that Aggie has started drilling within 1 year. And as the lease is obtained on 1st of August 2019, and drilling operation starts in less than 1 year, August 1, 2018, and they have started the drilling operation in less than 1 year. So we should just keep one thing in mind, that in the absence of drilling or production, the lessee, that is the Aggie company, can keep the lease in effect by making an annual payment called a delay rental payment. But in this case, because the drilling has started within a period of less than 1 year, so they are not going to pay any delay rental. Okay, so the answer here is no. How many more delay rentals would be necessary to hold the lease without further drilling? And if they delay it further, so they can more because they are asking for more. So more is going to be one more year, one more delay rental in case they don't start the drilling. So the primary lease, as you can see, is for a period of 3 years. It means one more delay rental would be necessary to hold the lease without further drilling. Okay, we go to part B. Assume drilling operations instead began on May 1st, 2021 and the well was completed on October 12, 2021 as a producer. Did the lease terminate on August 1, 2021? And we have to explain it. Now, the primary lease agreement was signed on August 1, 2018 for 3 years. This means it is going to expire on 3 years. It means it is going to expire on 1st of August 2021. Now, since the operation began on 1st of May, so the lease do not terminate on 1st of August 2021. Okay. How many years will the lease continue? Assuming production in commercial quantities. So the lease will continue until the well no longer produces commercial quantities, and the number can be any number of years as long it is going to produce, they are going to produce oil. Let us solve one more exercise. Upon signing a lease agreement, Miss Olivia received a one-time payment of 3,000. 1 year later, because the oil company has not yet drilled a well, Miss Olivia received a payment of 200. During the next year, the oil company drilled a successful well and Miss Olivia began receiving monthly payment of approximately 50. So what is that 3,000 payment called? Now this is a one-time payment, so this is called bonus definitely. What is 200 payment called? The 200 payment is because they have not drilled the well yet, so this is going to be called delay rental. And what are the 50 payments called? And 50 payment is the royalty because the production has started and they are going to during the next drilled the successfully well so because they have drilled it successfully, so the obviously the production will start and this amount is called royalty. So this completes part 8 on introduction all on oil and gas, where we have solved exercises on delay rental, revenue receivable to lessor and lessee on lease, cost payable by the lessor and lessee on lease, the determining the kind of interest, that is a production payment interest, royalty, overriding interest, termination of lease, bonus and royalties. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation, and if you found value in this video, then please like, subscribe and share my channel and hit the notification bell button to alert you for the latest video. And one last thing before I go, if you have any suggestions for future topics or any feedback, please put them in the comment section below. And for webinar and guest speaker invites, please send me a message at accountingamir@gmail.com. Accounting is AK. Remember, effective questioning brings insight, which fuels curiosity, which cultivates wisdom. If you have any question regarding this session, then please don't hesitate to ask in the comment box or by email, and inshallah I will reply you back. Thank you so much and happy learning.